Welcome to this short animated resource. My name is Anesha and this is my colleague Lydia, and we support delivery of research studies in the Research Delivery Network for the National Institute for Health and Care Research, also known as NIHR.
The aim of this animation is to provide you guidance and support on how to approach a potential participant, talk to them about a study you are supporting, and receive informed consent.
Most people know that research takes place in medical settings such as hospitals, but research can take place in wider care settings such as schools, care homes, local authorities, and dental practices, to name a few, making research more accessible to people, inclusive to the population needs, and is evidence-based.
As research continues to grow in these settings, professionals such as teachers, carers, and social workers may be asked to take on research activities that they may not feel confident completing.
We conducted a survey across a number of these settings as we wanted to make sure your voices were heard. We asked if a resource outlining the principles of consent would be beneficial, and 100% of the responders said yes.
The aim of this video is to provide professionals like you with the knowledge, understanding, and confidence to consent participants to research studies.
Informed consent is a process by which a person voluntarily confirms their willingness to participate in a research study after having been informed of all aspects of the study that are relevant to the person's decision to participate.
Principles of consent. We should consider the following principles: process, optional, and ongoing. Consent is a process, not a single event. It should be considered as an informative cycle. Consent is optional, and therefore we receive consent, we do not take it. Consent is also ongoing and should be considered at each point of a study.
If you feel a person is hesitant in the first instance, it would be okay to try and understand why this is, and to explore whether further understanding of what the research involves may help someone feel more comfortable to make their decision.
If no reason is given, this usually means they either don't fully understand what is being asked or they don't feel comfortable to decline.
To support this individual, they should be given more time to consider and not be pressured into giving consent in that moment. This will encourage them to make the right decision for them. Even if they decide not to take part, research is a choice and people have a right to say no if it's not for them. We are now going to discuss a model study to help show you what receiving informed consent looks like. Smile. Smile is a study looking to see if asking people to smile when attending community clinics can encourage people to be happier in life. Hello Amelia, my name is Emily. I'm a clinical research practitioner working on the Smile study. Do you have a few minutes for me to explain this study to you and see if you'd like to participate?
Hi Emily, yes, now would be a great time.
We would like to invite you to take part in the Smile study because you attend this community clinic, and we want to know if by asking people to smile while they attend this community clinic, whether it makes them feel happier and increases happiness throughout their day. The study is being led by NIHR, which stands for National Institute for Health and Care Research, and they are inviting all visitors to this community clinic to take part. If you agree to take part in this study, you will be allocated into one of two groups. Group 1 will receive the research intervention, asking them to smile throughout their visit, then to complete a questionnaire at the end of the day. The other group will attend the community clinic without being asked to smile during their visit. This is known as standard care, and they will be asked to complete the same questionnaire at the end of the day. The results completed by the two groups from the questionnaires will then be compared and analysed. Does this sound okay so far? Do you have any questions?
Yes, Emily, please carry on.
The research data we collect is shared with researchers via an online database, which is all kept confidential. Your personal details like your name, date of birth are replaced with a research study identification number, and so your personal details are protected and stored safely. Taking part is completely voluntary, and your relationship with the community clinic will not be affected either way. If you do decide to take part, you are free to withdraw at any time should you wish to change your mind without giving a reason why. Does this sound like something you may be interested in?
Yes, I don't mind taking a look. Do you have any more information?
Of course, here is an information leaflet. Have a read and I will come back over to answer any questions you may have when you are ready.
Here are a few of our top tips for you. Know your study well and read the research documents such as the protocol and participant information sheet to find out what the study is about and what you're asking of the public in taking part. Emphasise the importance of the standard care group. This group is equally as important as the information received shows if the research intervention is worthwhile or not. Have a go at practicing with your team. Having a conversation about the study with them can make you feel more confident when it comes to talking to a member of the public.
So Amelia, have you had a chance to read the leaflet?
Yes, I have read the information and I feel it seems like a nice study to take part in. I have a few questions if that's okay.
Of course. How can I help?
How long are the visits likely to take?
As mentioned in the study information leaflet, there is no time limit in visiting the community clinic. The questionnaire can be completed in your own time on the same day as your visit to ensure the answers relate to the day you visited the centre, and so that all research participants complete the information on the same day. This can be completed online or on paper.
I'm not sure what is meant by regulatory authorities.
Regulatory authorities monitor the progress of the study. They check that all procedures are followed correctly, ensuring participants' and researchers' safety. They do this by completing audits of the data collected, which is why you are being informed of this. All the information they look at is kept confidential with your study ID number. So, Amelia, do you feel like this is a study you would be happy to take part in?
Yes, Emily, thank you for your time and answering my questions. What are the next steps?
That's great news. Now that we have confirmed verbally, we need to complete a consent form to make sure this is documented and that you understand everything you are giving permission for. We can talk through this form together.
The consent form can be completed either on paper or online and shows the participant understands the research study, what's involved for them, and that they have agreed to take part voluntarily.
Explain to participants that they need to read each section and ask any questions, then place their initials into each box, instead of making the common mistake of ticking the box. This would make the consent form invalid and would then need to be recompleted.
Where it asks for the version and date in point 1, this relates to the date the information leaflet was created and can be found at the bottom of the leaflet. A common mistake is to put the date the participant visits the researcher, as this is part of the signature section in the final part of the consent form.
The signature section is just as important as receiving verbal confirmation and ensures full validity and completion of receiving written consent. Here it is best to inform the participant to write their name in capitals, writing the date using research format and placing their signature in the correct location. A common mistake is to place the initial of the first name and writing the incorrect date, causing further visits to correct the consent form.
A top tip at this time is to check the form has been completed correctly, and then the researcher who has been involved in inviting the participant to take part in the study gives their written declaration by ensuring they have informed the participant with the required information for them to make an informed decision.
The researcher writes their name in capitals, places the date in the research format, and signs in the designated location. Following this, the consent form is filed accordingly. If completed on paper, it is photocopied and a copy is given to the participant. The original copy is placed in the research file, also known as a site file, and a final copy, if possible, is placed or scanned in their health records. If completed digitally, a copy is sent to the participant by post or email, and the digital copy is filed in the digital research file, also known as a digital site file, and if possible, the digital document is scanned in their health records.
This process of informed consent, where possible, should be recorded wherever you would normally record your interaction with the participant, for example, in medical records, dental records, and in care home resident records, as part of good practice.
During this animated resource, we have explained the basics: inviting a volunteer to take part in a study, discussing a study, and receiving informed consent to help you feel more confident in this research task.
As mentioned, receiving verbal consent is supported by written consent. Both are important in ensuring the participant understands their involvement in the study and that it is voluntary to take part, with the option to withdraw consent at any point in the study without giving a reason.
If you would like to know more about research for yourselves and how you can develop your research knowledge and skills, you can find more information here by scanning the QR code. This will take you to the NIHR Learning Portal where you can register and create an account.